Dear audience, my name is Володимир Кушнарьов, and I am a 7th grade student of Харківський Lyceum number 80. Today, I would like to tell you about the most wonderful city in the world. The city where I was born. The city is Харків. I am proud of my native city because it's the largest city in the world, located along the fifth parallel. It is a motherland of three Nobel Prize winners. Майдан Свободи in Kharkiv is one of the largest city squares in Europe. It is a home to one of the oldest zoos in Europe, founded back in 1895. Karas in Kharkiv National University is one of the oldest in Europe and one of the largest in Ukraine. However, the focus of my presentation is the buildings of Kharkiv circuses from the 9th century to modernity. I tell you about Kharkiv circus buildings, what were and are in the city. Many Kharkiv citizens and city visitors think that there is only one circus in Kharkiv, but it's not true. Kharkiv has always been a circus city. The first street performances in our city were held in the 18th century. A lot of different actors, clowns, magicians, and animal trainers entertained their audience outdoors. The local authorities have allowed circus performance to entertain people on the marketplaces. It happened on Рибний Майдан, Михайловский Майдан, и Мироносецкий Майдан. It should be said that at the same time the construction of wooden temporary buildings for circuses in Kharkiv has been started. The first stage structure belonged to the citizens of Prussia, Wilhelm Suhr, who held on lease the land in Moskovska Street. And in 1862, the first temporary wooden circus appeared there. In 1890, the owner of the circus, Suhr, began to build the first stone circus on Gendarmeский Maidan and made pavement around the future circus, but he was denied. In 1868, near Suhr circus appeared another wooden boss. Its owner was Joseph Dazin. He created the second temporary wooden circus in Kharkiv, in Moskovska Street, in the yard of the Bax building. In 1870, not far from Nikolaevsky Maidan, wooden circus was built by Moldovan person John Litz. He had to build a circus for one of the famous troops in Kharkiv. In 1881, the wooden circus of French citizens, Godefroy brothers, was built on Торговый Maidan. They got the right to rent land from the city council. They had the right to make circus show during 5 years. In 1883, on Gendarmeский Maidan, the Nikitin brothers arrested the circus. The building of the circus was somewhere on the side of the consumer service center on Poltavsky Шлях. In 1890, on Mikhailovsky Maidan, the entrepreneur Ernest Chinizeli built one of the largest wooden circuses in the city. In 1892, on Gendarmeский Maidan, the first truly permanent circus in Kharkiv was built by a famous businessman, Albert Solomonsky. After that, he became an owner and a founder of the Moscow Circus on Цветной Boulevard. Gradually, the old wooden circus buildings were replaced by brick and permanent ones. The first brick circus appeared in Kharkiv in 1906 on Gendarmeский Maidan, near the main railway station. The idea and the institution itself belonged to the merchant Henry Greek. One of the legends about the old circus says that the merchant Greek sons fell in love with circus rider and married her. His beautiful wife dreamed of a circus, and this circus became Greek's wedding gift. But this is an only legend. In fact, the owner created circus as one of the commercial projects. The circus was designed by famous architects. The construction work lasted 2 years. It was designed according to the type of Brothers Franconi circus in Paris. This is a circus theater. Its height is 25 meters high. The diameter of its arena is 30 meters. The internal architecture allowed to use not only an arena, but also a stage. The project was suitable for theatrical performances because the acoustics in the audience was ideal for theatrical performances. There were blue sails decorated with farm modelings as in the theater. After 1917, Greek circus was transformed into state circus. In the 1930s, the building was reconstructed. The arena became permanent. The upper tier of the stage area was defined for the orchestra. And the bottom one was adapted for the output of artists. At this time, under the supervision of Fred Yashinov, the director of the circus, tables were reconstructed and dressing rooms for artists were created. The circus dome was completely replaced at that time. During the Second World War, the building of the circus survived by a miracle. Occupants have organized a sausage factory there, and when retreating, they mined it. The wife of one of the artists saved the structure. Working for the Germans as a cleaner, she saw where they planted mines. After the Soviet army came in Kharkiv, this woman showed the location of mines. Kharkiv Circus gave the performance immediately after release. Kharkiv State Circus worked in this building until 1977. Today, the Ukrainian Creative Center for the circus program and attraction training is there. This is the only one such a center in Ukraine. Missouri Circus is the second permanent Greek circus theater. It appeared in our city in 1911 in Blahoveshchenska Street. Thus, Kharkiv became the second city in Europe where two stationary brick buildings for circus performances worked at the same time. The former building of Kharkiv Musical Comedy Theatre is built now, but few or none know that in the early 20th century a circus was there. At the time, it was the largest circus building in the world. It was built by Greek Missouris. The building was constructed by Kharkiv architect Kornienko. The construction in new art was built of red brick. It was a new creation for that time. The auditorium did not have any props, and the dome rose towards 70 meters. Seats for the spectators were located as an amphitheater, and the floor of the arena was below the ground level. It was a huge circus building, was accommodated 5,756. There were dressing rooms, workshops, and back offices. It was a circus building with moving circus area, which could rise or fall. This circus was equipped with the latest technology. This building is also famous because the first constitution of the USSR and the formation of the USSR were approved there. In the 1960s, the city decided to build a big circus. The circus director Fred Yashinov offered to repair Missouri's circus theater and used it as a circus. In the year 2005, Missouri Circus was sold. Before it was taken from the list of monuments. In 1966, Kharkiv local authority decided to build a new building for city circus. In spring 1974, the new building of the Kharkiv circus was opened. The modern circus building was designed by famous architects and designers. The architectural design of the building has some features due to the large access. They were also used in many cities. These features include the circus coverage of the shell, hyperbolic paraboloid instead of the traditional dome, solid glass vestibule areas, foyers, and lobbies. This arena dismissed the excess of actors that helped to increase the number of places or seat up to 75%. The hall has convenient distribution of the audience on seats due to a specially arranged passages and bypass. There are more than 2,000 seats in the auditorium. The auditorium has an excellent plan. That's why spectators have a good view from all seats. This building was constructed according to all the circus needs and characteristics. At any time of the year, air conditioners ensure comfortable temperature. People can watch ice and water circus performances, concerts, and movies. Behind the stands, the huge corridor is closed by the spacious playground. From this place, you can go to stables and cages, a kitchen and a shower room for the animals, and nearby. Comfortable dressing rooms, hall and conductor's room are one floor up. Let's sum up the information. There were 10 circus buildings in Kharkiv. 7 of them were wooden, and only 3 ones were brick and ornament. Of course, we can't visit the wooden ones because they were destroyed, but 3 brick circus buildings still exist. But most of all, I look forward to time when peace comes to Ukraine and we can once again see not just the buildings of circuses, but the incredible circus performances. Thank you for your attention.